not a video to pitch you the idea of meditation and tell you that you should do it. This is a video for anyone who might have tried it in the past, experienced great benefits from doing so, and yet still doesn't do it or doesn't do it regularly. It's very, very common. So it's quite normal, I think, for us to look up at people who make meditation almost like their life's work, and they've got thousands and thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of hours of practice. And we approach the pursuit of this kind of idealistic idea of how we're supposed to be, you know, whilst we're doing it, as a result of doing it. And it's very easy down the line, after even 10 hours of practice, 100, 300 hours of practice, to say, oh, well, I don't feel like that yet, or I don't seem like those guys. I was listening to the Dan Harris podcast, 10% Happier podcast today, and he said something that made me laugh, which was, he said, I've been doing it for 9 years and I still say stupid stuff. The point, though, is that even after 10, 100, 300 hours of practice, you're probably going to see some kind of difference. You're probably going to notice some kind of difference in your awareness, your ability to not let things phase you so much, and probably also in your compassion and just general feelings of happiness. And as you start to notice these continual changes, it makes it easier to set your intent. In other words, as you begin a meditation, it's pretty common for someone to set that intention, reflect almost on the benefits that they're expecting to receive from this, not just for themselves, but also for their close family and friends. And it helps if you've got a bit of a experience behind you to know what that's likely to be. Just like with exercise, it's a great analogy to use like a training program as a way of explaining this. At the beginning of any change in routine, there's a certain amount of faith that goes in. Like I understand thermodynamics, well, I don't really, but you know, I know that if energy out is more than energy in, the energy's got to come from somewhere. I'm going to burn body fat, and I know that. And if I've been working out solidly for 2 weeks and I think, oh, I don't really feel much different, well, I know that, you know, I just have to have this faith in the science that it is doing something. And it's kind of the same for meditation. It really helps if you've got this a little bit of experience behind you, so you can set that intent effectively. But there's always this initial period of just having faith that it is doing something, and hence the reason to be consistent and just do it. Really try and do it no matter what. You know, 9 days out of 10, or even better, if you can do it, if you can only skip a day, you know, a few times a year, then those skip days won't really matter so much. You know, it's really about what they call sweeping the floor. There's a difference between what they call states and traits. You know, you might experience the state of awareness and think, oh, this is great, I get this now, and then think you don't have to do it again. Really common problem. You know, thing is, the animal mind takes over, it comes back, and what you see in people who've been meditating for a long time is physical changes in the brain. These aren't things that happen overnight. They're not things that happen as a result of a single experience. These are things that happen as a result of sweeping the floor day in, day out, and keeping a nice clean floor as a result of doing that every day. And again, if you skip a day, if I don't sweep my kitchen floor for a day, it's not going to matter so much. You know, it's just good to do it regularly, right? So that is basically it for me, guys. It's really a call to action to say, if you understand the benefits, I'm not here to pitch the benefits to you, but if you have glimpsed them, it's just a reminder to keep up the good work, keep it consistent, and you know, set your stall out to be looking back in 3 years' time going, hey, you know, I feel like I'm in many ways a happier person, more aware person, and ultimately having a better impact on the world as a result of my practice, caring more about others, and also able to align my energies in a more productive, efficient way. So there is one more point I'd like to make, and that's just that around this, the process of personal change I often refer to, which a lot of people think it starts with, you know, if you just take some action, things will happen, like New Year's resolutions, this sort of thing. Well, actually, a solid form of action, a habit based on action, has first to be formed upon a very strong decision. I am going to do this. And a strong decision it's often overlooked, is actually based on something else. That thing is realization. I call this the bounce, because this is really where you bounce off. This is really how you understand emotionally and logically what it is you need to do and why. And this is the intent that I talked about. This is that when you really understand the benefits, when you know that, you know, you can spend 20 minutes meditating is like giving you, it's like giving you as much value of an hour doing something else, you know, so why wouldn't you do that? You get more out of it than you put in. You don't just get out what you put in, you get more than you put in. Hence, it's a fulcrum. If you understand that something is a fulcrum in your life, and the more you do it, the more benefits you're going to reap overall, despite the costs. That's how you know that that thing is a good idea. I know that going to the gym is a good thing for me because I don't like being overweight, I don't like being fat, and hence, having had some experience of these things, you're then better able to say, right, I understand the benefits now. But until that point, just keep that ball rolling. Really encourage you just to keep doing it until you get to that point, and then you can bounce hard and you can bounce fast and go further. I hope that helps, guys. I shall chat to you next time.